What do you think we're gonna do next time? Do you think we're gonna go to a lucid dream where the dreamer has full control over their dreams? Or do you think we're gonna meet a sleep paralysis demon? That'd be real scary, wouldn't it? Do you think we're gonna take some real wild cards? I can't wait to be a real dream catcher someday.
Dreamcatchers is a passion project that grew just way bigger than it has any right to be.
Everyone's working on this because we want to.
It's just such a nice group of people to work with. Like, it's just such a nice time.
It's a cute little collaboration. With a bunch of friends.
You know, everyone on this team is so talented. It's such a special show.
Hi, I'm Matthew. I'm a co-creator, showrunner, and voice actor and animator on the show Dreamcatchers. I'm also editing this documentary. I can already tell that this documentary is going to be a mess. It's going to be a mix of talking about episode 6, about the season in general. It's going to be a mix of interviews and vlogs from the actual making. I wish I could get everyone on the team in this documentary, but people are busy and I can only get the videos from people who had the time to record it and submit it. So I'm just gonna work with what I've got. But that being said, enjoy the making of Dreamcatchers.
Okay, you do you. You use whatever you wish. Hi, I'm Val. I was the co-creator. I was the person Matthew ran to, crying and screaming because he couldn't figure out how to make this show work. He was like, "Please help me, Val. Please, I'm begging you. Please use your brilliant mind and save me from my desolation." And now you've replaced me, Matthew. Now you've replaced me with 10 other people. So I was a co-creator. I was also a writer on the show for a good number of episodes. I voice act for TV. I was a visual development artist and I designed the boats. Yeah, my self-indulgent David Lynch tribute, whatever that was. I don't know. Because Matthew brings things to me and then I say, this is garbage, or I say, this is beautiful. It's sort of running around, throwing things together, bashing rocks together until you make like a spark. You ignite a fire. Yeah, we're just bashing rocks. I really enjoyed designing that boat. That was really great. I love designing. I liked throwing spaghetti at the wall because I was writing down this dream I had where God came down from the earth specifically to smite Star and TV and to purge them from this world because they were a menace.
Yeah, that's cool, I guess. Ooh, buttons!
Matthew, what are we doing right now?
We're starting to write on episode 6, the finale of season 1! What?
Writing on Dreamcatchers is really fun because we just get to chat and ramble about how the show is going to go. Sorry. Last time, we actually made a lot of progress. At this stage in the production, anything is possible, and so we're just bouncing around ideas and then slowly over time securing the individual ideas until they're like locked in place as a script and ready to be handed to voice actors.
Real? Okay.
Yeah. Are you guys ready to get cracking?
Yes, I'm ready to crack a lot of things.
Let's crack this script. I love crack. The voice acting setup was super janky for this episode. Luckily, we've moved into an apartment, but before this, we were living in the dorms, and so the only way to get good quality sound was to record it under our beds.
Yeah, we're so normal, we're so casual.
I'm honestly super surprised at the amount of range we've been able to get in vocal performances, considering the fact that all of our actors have been laying on the floor.
Okay, Star, calm down and act normal. You're so casual, you're so normal right now.
But now we can record in a closet, so it's an upgrade if you ask me. We have an actual setup now. I hope you don't mind that the closet's gonna be in the... I don't mind. A dream is a puzzle your mind sets for you.
Oh wait, okay.
After the voice acting, we can finally move forward into pre-production. Oftentimes we have friends who can help with the visual development of each of our episodes. On episode 6 in particular, we had Hamari, who designed the title card and the council castle. She would send me these beautiful rough illustrations of just different variations of the castle. I just took a little piece of each one of the variations and kind of put it together in Blender and tried to capture that sort of elegance that she had in her original illustrations. For the council hall design, I basically had to draw the designs for each of these pillars, which I won't zoom in too far because they kind of spoil some of the show actually, but the end result kind of looks something like this. It takes quite a while of just like figuring out how to really texture these pillars. It's can get real messy and complicated. Storyboarding, on the other hand, is a very new process to Dreamcatchers. Originally, I would just figure it all out through the layout stage, but that proved to be a little more difficult when it came to episode 5, which is a near 20-minute episode. So on episode 5, we had Rennie, Anthony, and I do the storyboards for the whole episode. But since episode 6 was a little shorter and people are always really busy, I was able to just do the whole thing myself. Hello, I just remembered... oh my god. Hello, I just remembered that I'm supposed to record behind the scenes videos. So let me do that real quick. This is kind of what the setup looks like. We've got the storyboards, which as you can see, just kind of, I do them all in Photoshop, which then after I export them, I take them into Premiere Pro and edit them together with the audio to make the animatic. So then after that, I take it into Google Sheets where I divvy it up into different scenes, and this is where I can sort of just place how many frames, how long each scene is, how many frames it is, and sort of just organize it so that it's a lot easier to divvy up to the different animators. After this, as far as story goes, my next step is to do layout, which means that I have to basically just put all of the characters in the scenes so that when I send it off to the animators, they can just start animating the characters, basically. So yeah, that's probably what I do next.
Aw, we're so glad to have helped you raise your beautiful baby boy.
Hello, my name is Audrey.
Hello, my name is Bella Honori.
Hi, my name is Ariadna.
I'm Cedric.
Only half of my face is working, so I do look a little scary. I started on episode 5, cause that was 10. On episode 5.
So I did animation for episodes 5 and 6. I started on episode 5.
I was lucky enough to animate on episodes 5 and 6, and hopefully I will be animating on season 2 as well.
I got on Dreamcatchers because I knew of Matthew's work online, especially his Trophy Animated. He had like an open call for animators to join the project at some point. But yeah, I kind of sent a mail. He said he wanted to have me on the project. I was really happy to see that. And yeah, this just kind of happened from here.
I knew about Soul because I was already following Matthew. I followed him because of his short films, and when he announced that he was working on Soul running a new animated indie show, and I was like, okay, I'm from Spain, we have like 9 hours of like time zone difference, but I was like, I don't mind. If they don't mind, I would be happy to participate if they like my reel and all that stuff, and it looks like they did. So here I am.
They were like, hey, we're looking for animators, you don't have to know 3D, just apply. And I was like, okay, I want to learn 3D, might as well. And I somehow got it.
I had found Dreamcatchers through these like animation circles I was in online, and kind of just watched a couple of the episodes, and something about, maybe it was just like the characters really stood out to me, or maybe just like the very dream, like, okay, yeah, it's a show about dreams. if you haven't heard. I think I was in the shower when I like emailed Matthew and just was like, do you guys need anything at all? Like I can do like maybe a title card or like maybe a voice if you need it. I think at the time Matthew was the only animator working on it, so he took a chance and brought me onto the show as an animator.
Animating on Dreamcatchers is really fun because the style is quite unique.
So fun. It is so fun to work on this project for like millions of reasons. The team is awesome. Everyone is super nice. It's such a unique show in like a lot of different ways.
We animate on 2s in 12 frames per second, so it has this very like almost hand-drawn feeling to it.
Every second has like usually 24 frames, but our show has 12. And sometimes in those 12 frames, we don't do like all the frames with a unique pose. So it's quite fun to try to simplify at the maximum the actions. The characters are pretty simple in the end. They have like simple bodies and minimal faces, only eyes. And Stowaway has a mouth, so that's useful.
So basically, Matthew will like create little storyboards, like rough drawings of the entire episode that he's going to then edit together with like the voice acting as well.
Matthew will make layouts for every scene. Sometimes they'll move a little bit, but they won't move like, they won't be expressive or anything. It's more just the whole body is just like moving from one place to one place.
By the way, I say Matthew did it, but maybe somebody else helped him. I'm not sure. So after that, those scenes are picked by animators according to, you know, their taste, the time they have in their life to work on them at the moment. And I get to work figuring out the performance and interactions of each character according to their own natures, I guess, and the situations that they're in. Sometimes Matthew will have like specific movements in mind. If that's the case, he'll always like have little drawn notes in the Blender files for us to follow. But most of the time we are like pretty free to do what we want.
So all of it is done in Blender, and the rigs are so simple that moving characters in a way where it doesn't feel like you're doing this super like tedious granular thing, but like it really just feels like you're playing with these like dolls in like not a weird sadistic way.
I usually start first like reading the script, hearing the voices, and looking at the storyboard and the animatic, and then I record myself. I usually like do a few takes of the scene. I
applaud Ari specifically, or Ariadna. Every single shot is like there's a reference, and for me, I don't think I did. I mean, I looked in a mirror and I like used a reference that way, but I didn't like actually film it. I need to start doing that.
Sometimes I'll film myself acting out my performance before like getting into Blender at all. I get like a specific emotion I want to hit for a character. My favorite character to animate was Julia, especially the way she like kind of stammers in the first sequence where she appeared in. She tries to sound all cool, but you know, while talking to her crush, and she's just like stammering so much. It was really fun to make. The way I'm trying to like really shift her expression around so much, I think it really gave her that kind of agitated, stressed out energy that she clearly had in her dialogues.
Stowaway is definitely my favorite character. I think just something about the way they move is like, you know, like that kind of Spinel from Steven Universe or like Jinx from Arcane, kind of crazy, like genius. The vibe is like really, really fun to act out. All the characters in Dreamcatchers move in a very unique way. So animating every single one is very refreshing. It's just really fun to see like a phone move in a way that's kind of more like la la la, like I'm a valley girl, versus like, you know, a megaphone who's like very like ah! The character designers did a really great job of that and made our jobs like a lot easier.
One of my favorite scenes to do was the bow scene for Julia in episode 5. Star put his leg behind and like curtsy a little bit, and then TV just like bows forward, and then Julia's just like normal bow. And then I was like, what do I do now? I'll just have them jump in a circle because that's cute. I don't know, it's always like at the end of theater performances when they're, as an ex-theater kid, the curtains close and everyone's like, yay, and you like dance around and you know, hug each other. Like I just kind of went with that.
Okay, so on episode 6, I only did one scene, which is the aftermath after Star dies, disappears. Where are they from the show? My favorite scene to animate was on episode 5. The conversation between Star and TV at the end of the episode is my favorite scene that I have animated on the show, but it was also, quite frankly, the most hard. First, because it's 2 minutes long, that's a really long scene, and also because of all the subtle acting. Here you have like this little guy that like at least has like a whole body, but TV is a box with 2 legs. So how do you make that feel like intimate and like complex? And it's possible because that's the magic of animation, like anything's possible, but it's a challenge.
It did take me a bit of time to understand how the non-linear editor works, which is a function of Blender that we use to animate walk and run cycles, especially. You know, it's not as straightforward as other softwares, I will say that. And I do love Blender, by the way. I need to I need to say that, but you know, the NLE could maybe be a bit clearer.
I think a challenging part about animating, having all these like revelations about animation that I was never taught just because I don't go to like an animation school. I do, like, my major is more about interactive media. So I think just very simple things like building that sensitivity to the audience is something that I had not encountered before. And I think Dreamcatchers like really taught me how to be aware of like, oh, this is a show that is supposed to be entertaining. So like, why not add this like pose that's like a little bit funny, you know? Or why not like kind of exaggerate this little part of the animation a little more?
Animating Stowaway for me, for some reason, I don't know why, is kind of difficult, and I don't know why. I think I was kind of newer to Blender, and now because I did so much for episode 6. Other people weren't picking them up just because they were busy or they were already working on a scene, and so I kind of just kept picking up scenes, and I ended up doing half the episode, I guess. I think I got used to it now, but when I was doing Stowaway on episode 5, I think there was like specific character acting stuff. I just didn't really pick it up very quick for Stowaway specifically. So I think that was actually one of the hardest things to do. And then there's also, there's Pebbles.
Okay, I was really hyped to animate Pebbles because they remind me a lot of Olaf from Frozen. Like, it's a character with a lot of pieces. And in this case, Pebbles, like, you haven't seen anything yet. Like, Pebbles can do almost anything.
I did, there's a really complicated shot that like kind of goes over your head. Pebbles kind of like rolls onto the bed and like uses himself as stairs. That was Audrey's idea, by the way. Full credit to her for that one. I loved that.
It's like the most stop motion experienced character of all of them because we have to pose each rock on each frame. And it's not like a simulation or anything like that. It's all made like by hand. Matthew really tried to like make some kind of simulation of magnetic pull or something. But in the end, we decided that, at least for now, Pebbles needs to be animated completely by hand. So the rig is actually quite simple because it's a bunch of controllers, one controller for each pebble, so you can rotate and translate the pebble in question. But also, I wanted to make like a couple of like improvements to make it easier to animate pebbles.
Whoa. Who are you?
Of course, you might have noticed that not all of Dreamcatchers is animated in Blender.
Hello, my name is Ryan. I was the stop motion animator for the sleep paralysis demon in episode 5 of Dreamcatchers. Before working on Dreamcatchers, I was already a big fan of the show. I've been following it since episode 1, and even before that when on Matthew's personal YouTube channel, Star Vlogs, that was the precursor to Dreamcatchers. So I've been following it all the way since then. So when the Dreamcatchers Instagram account put out a ask for help for 3D animators, I jumped at that opportunity. I remember I was in my dorm when the post went out for the help wanted post, and I had an essay due that night, and I was getting through it, and that post came up, and I dropped the essay. I was like, I gotta get this done first. I put together a demo reel. I sent it in, and then I kind of came back down to reality. I was like, all right, I'm not gonna hear back for maybe like a week or two, maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I have no idea. So I dragged myself back to my desk to work on my computer, and I think it was like 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes after I submitted the application, that I got a message from Matthew on Discord talking about helping out with a top secret stop motion character for the next episode of Dreamcatchers. And I almost fell out of my seat. I was so excited. I've been a fan of the show. I think I created one of the show's first fan arts. I did a claymation of TV all the way back before the first episode even came out. So seeing it come full circle and getting the chance to help out on a project I'm really passionate about was really cool and awesome to be a part of. I don't remember what I got on the essay. I think I got like a 75. My grade suffered slightly, but I have no regrets. What was the process like for you? The animation process for me was a little different, obviously. The show is mainly animated in Blender, a 3D animation software, and I was going to be working in stop motion. So what I did for this was I basically went to a stop motion studio or a down shooter studio that was in my school. And there's down shooters in there, which is basically a camera that's facing down that takes pictures of what's below it. And what's below it is usually a light table where you can put paper, you can put animation cells to capture traditional animation. But for this, I was going to be using clay. So basically I bought a bunch of black clay and I moved around clay for a couple weeks, creating the animation you see in the final episode. Me and Matthew wanted the sleep paralysis demon to feel organic and alive, so getting to experiment with morphing animation as well as smudging some of the clay in some parts was really fun, and I hope it helped sell the effect. I think one of the coolest parts about working on Dreamcatchers, and specifically episode 5 with the sleep paralysis demon, was just being able to see everyone's reactions, and this character's been built up through a couple episodes, so getting to see people's reactions to the episode was really cool, and getting to see fan art of the character is really cool as well. I'm just really happy that the character went over well.
Hello, my name is Etia, and this is my first take. I'm a composer and a music editor and a sound designer / sound editor and a mixer on Dreamcatchers. Matthew initially had me on as the sound designer for the pilot. Pretty much all the sound effects you hear, save for a few metal pipe sounds, are completely synthesized from scratch. We were initially using the synthesizer called an Arturia Microbrute. For the first pass of sound design, it was just faux white noise manipulated to sound like things. And that was really hard because making white noise from scratch is an experience. I quickly learned that would not work for the entire season and moved on to the Korg Monotribe, which is a smaller synth but does have a noise generator. It's been serving us well ever since. It's amazing. And that's how all the sound design is created. I'll essentially get the animatic and go ahead, spot where we need new sounds, make those sounds, do some iterations, and then slap them into place. So it's nice because as we get episodes, more sounds accumulate. We make the sound design, we edit it together, That's all the sound effects. The music is pretty different. We start on it very early in the process, and we'll spot where we want music, where we think music is important, and we'll just sketch. I say we, so me, Mate, Landon, and Felix, the music advisor, and I hope they make videos. They're all awesome. And so we'll sketch, figure out what we want, what we don't want. We'll have a meeting with Felix, and he'll say what he thinks, what could be better, and then we'll sketch a bit more, and then that's it for composing. Then I'll take everyone's stuff, and I'll edit it to the animatic, because the animatic is usually done at that point. And once I have a pass of that, I'll show it to Felix. He'll give some major notes. I'll make some major changes. We'll meet again. He'll give some less major notes. I'll make some less major changes. And by then, I'll meet with Matthew. Matthew shows up to other meetings here and there whenever he feels like it. But sometimes that's the first time he'll hear like the full pass of the music. And then that's it for the music. All of our synth sounds, our synth patches are made in-house as well. For the first 3 episodes, we were using stock sounds, stock presets from Logic and Ableton. But for episode 4, we got one of my close composer friends, Mate, on board, and he got us access to Arturia Pigments. And we just recreated all the sounds in Pigments. We could all use the same sounds then. We have each episode 1 to 4 specialty sounds. So for example, Sleep Paralysis Demon has their piano and their bass clarinet, which, speaking of bass clarinet, we had a friend of mine from high school, an actual bass clarinetist record stuff, which was awesome. Another example of that would be Stowaway's electric piano. If you know much about music, you'll know like there's the Rhodes electric piano. We just took one of those and modified it to work. And by the time I'm done meeting with Matthew, that's essentially a week to 2 before the release day. And then everything will go over to mixing. I'll export everything and put it into Pro Tools and mix it for a week. Episode 6 was really interesting because Landon was busy and Mate was busy and Maggie was busy and Martine was maybe busy. Everyone was busy. And I was busy too. Jason, I don't know if he's gonna do a video. He does some viz dev and he's the voice of Megaphone. Jason was staying over at my house in Florida for the second half of summer. We were gonna drive from Florida to California because I had to get some instruments over. About halfway through August, the episode is supposed to come out September 1st. I said, wait a minute. Boop, boop, boop. Called up Matthew and I said, hey Matthew, I just realized we're gonna be driving when the episode is gonna release. It was like, essentially, I had to do most of the music, like creation, music editing, sound design, sound editing, all that early mornings or late at night because I was hosting Jason. And on the road trip, I just had to mix whenever I wasn't driving. And that was a very tough process, but it was really fun. So usually it's a lot more structured than the videos you'll see.
What's up, everyone? It's an hour before the premiere. What you doing, Etia?
Getting the final mix together. Oh, I should open this on the other tab. So I may make a few changes throughout if something sounds really bad. I'm getting Matthew to listen to the final mix to see if he has any final notes. Yeah. I don't know what else is there.
Yeah. Everything else is done though, right?
Everything
like
else is done.
And
Yeah, all the mixing is pretty much done.
it's just final check time.
Yep.
I'm making some final changes. We have less than 40 minutes until the premiere is supposed to start. And I am rendering out this final scene. I'm just re-rendering it because I wanted to add a special detail in the lights because it's important ish I don't know why every time it's always a rush. We literally planned so far ahead, and I had a lot of time to prepare this, but stuff went wrong, and but you know, it should always be the sort of okay, it's 4 minutes before the premiere of the episode. My legs are literally shaking. I'm so nervous. I hope people like the episode. This whole show has been like a labor of love and like just wanting to make cool things, and I hope that we can continue doing that in season 2. I'm like, I need to like breathe. I need to breathe. People are talking about how like nervous they are about the episode. No one can possibly be more nervous than I am sharing this with the world. I hope it gets well received, but even if it doesn't, you know, it doesn't matter. What matters is that we made a cool thing, and I know that season 2 is going to be one of the best things I've ever been a part of making. So here's to the premiere. I do watch the premiere with everyone just because it's really fun to see people's reaction in the chat, and I'm excited to see. I'm excited to talk to team people at 10 and answer people's questions, because I know that a lot of people are gonna have a lot of questions. Yeah, I'm excited. Oh my gosh. 3 minutes, 2 minutes.
What do you say, oh little exile?
Yes. Star did nothing wrong. It was my fault. I should have been more careful watching over them.
I never meant to cause any harm. I just wanted to help them.
Thanks to you, we have to patch up your mistakes before they hurt anyone else. But don't worry, you won't be here to see the mess you've made.
Watching the premiere was such a blur in the best way possible. I remember just watching all the comments and all the people's reactions as the episode was playing, and just being able to see everyone's reaction to the finale of season 1 and their hype for season 2. This community of people we were able to bring together through this show was just so cool to see it all come together in this moment. It feels incredibly surreal to say that my friends and I made a full season of a show just out of the pure wanting to make something really cool. Realizations like that just really reminded me how special this show was to me and to the people making it and the people watching it.
Everything from the way the show is run, you know, Matthew does a great job of being like, hey, this is a free show. I can't pay you guys. We're all students. So if you have something that you need to do that is like mildly more important, just do that instead. And more often than not, I think that attitude really motivates people to like work on the show and like do their best. It makes people like really care about the show because like Matthew cares about us, you know, and the fans like really care about the stuff that they're watching. People just make this like insane stuff, ranging from like masks that they make of the characters to, you know, drawings to like 3D animations to 2D animations. I mean, it's like really impressive, and it makes us feel like really loved, and it makes us feel like we're making something like really special. So yeah, thank you to everyone who continues to watch Dreamcatchers. Like, it means a lot to us.
I have the feeling I messed up real bad. I'm sorry, TV. I'm not a real Dreamcatcher. And I don't think that I ever can be.
Face it, buddy. Everything comes crashing down around me. I'm the King Midas of broken, screwed up things.
I still feel alone. I think I've always felt alone, though.
I don't know why any of this is happening. I want to escape.
I guess I wanted to be somebody, something, somewhere, not to be nothing.
Do you think I'll be ready enough? No one's ever truly ready for what is to come. But you'll be fine. I promise.
Hello, my name is Darcy. I go by she, her. And I ended up as a writer on season 2 of Dreamcatchers. The way that I got on the show was I met some of the other writers on the show while going to the CalArts producer show, which was so much fun. And there I discovered the show because they mentioned it to me. And I watched it and absolutely fell in love with it. I think there were 4 episodes out at the time. When I talked to Matthew about my interest in the show, I was able to be onboarded as a writer. So I get to continue the incredible story that our writers have written for season 1 into season 2. I love writing with our writers, Rennie, Sophia, and Matthew. They are just so much fun to bounce ideas with, and it's made for a season 2 that I'm so excited for. As of now, we've mapped out all of the plot lines of season 2, so very soon we're going to get started on script writing, which is so exciting. So season 2 definitely ups the stakes from season 1. I think in season 1 it was a lot about getting to know the characters in the world, right? So now we're getting to a point in season 2 where so much crazy stuff has happened, and we get to see how characters like TV and the council react to these new events that transpired in season 1. And I think season 2 goes even deeper into the characters that we already know and new characters that we'll get to meet. And I think this what makes it so interesting and such a fun season to not only write, but also get to see come to life by our amazing team. Without spoiling, oh gosh, there's a lot more crazy stuff that happens in season 2. I won't say what, but I'm really excited to see how our animation team brings it all to life, because we have more sets, we have more worlds and experimental ideas that we're bouncing around with as writers. So I'm really excited to see what those worlds look like visually, because I have ideas for what they look like in my head, right? But how the animators are going to bring them to life, the concept artists and the storyboard artists, it's just going to be so cool. And I think it's going to make season 2 feel even more real and even more exciting.
I can't wait for season 2.
Yeah, can't wait to work with you guys again, basically.
I don't know, I guess I can't wait for everyone to see where SBD, the Sleep Paralysis Demon, goes in the next season.
I'm just excited to animate. I'm excited to get started. And I'm excited for the amazing writing that has been going on. I think season 2 has some it's pretty impressive. Big things are coming.
I am very curious to see what you guys do with my character, because I'm no longer in the writer's room. Now I'm just your little meat puppet, and you do whatever you want.
We're taking everything we learned from and since season 1 and bringing it into season 2.
Please stay tuned for season 2 of Dreamcatchers. It is currently in the works, and I think it's gonna be insane in the best way possible.
Hell yeah!
A dream is a puzzle your mind sets for you. It gives you no answers, it gives you no clue. The sheep fall in line in the field of the mind. Why and where are they off to this time? A dream is a cube in your mind, you revolve it.